Thank you, Mayor Johnson and Mayor Pro Tem Yarc, for your service these past 8 years here in CYPRESS. You know, I'm so appreciative of having these 6 years working with both of you. Mayor Johnson, I'm going to miss your sports jokes. I'm telling you, I don't know what we're going to do without your puns and little jokes in between, keeping some levity going in some of the most serious conversations. I'll sure miss them. And Mariellen, Mayor Pro Tem Yarc, I'm sure going to miss your passion and compassion for people and our community. You've both been wonderful. We're going to miss you so much, and I wish you all the best in all of your new endeavors. Thank you both so much, and best wishes.
Rob, Mariellen, where do I even start? I can start by saying thank you. Rob, if it hadn't been for you those 6.5 years ago, I would have never even considered running and serving the residents of the city of CYPRESS. So to both of you, thank you for your sacrifice of self, for your insight. Mariellen, I know that you always used to say, you know, you're very direct. Well, I loved all of our little sidebars. I'll miss that. Rob, your jokes, don't think you can call in and start giving them to us over in the open platform time. But to both of you, thank you both very, very much. You will certainly be missed. Stay well.
Hi, Rob and Mariellen. I'd love to congratulate you on a wonderful 8 years on the City Council. You've both accomplished so much. We've had a lot of fun together, gotten a lot of great things done. We haven't always agreed, and I've appreciated that you, especially Mariellen, have helped me to see the other side of the issue quite often. And even when we've disagreed, though, we've done it respectfully. And Rob, we've become really good friends, and look forward to doing things together in the future. So I just want to wish you both all the good health and happiness, and thank you again for your service. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing things together in the future.
Hello, I'm Mariellen Yarc, Mayor Pro Tem, and soon to be termed out. So this is my opportunity to say thank you and goodbye. And I just have to make sure I don't get emotional, because everybody who's watched me for 8 years has seen me cry more times than I'd like to admit. But first of all, let me say thank you to my husband. He spent 8 years going to events I'm sure he had no interest in going in, and he did it willingly and with a smile. And he spent many nights eating dinner by himself while I was out at one meeting or another. So thank you, Paul. And I couldn't leave without thanking the staff. You come in here so green and knowing nothing, and they're so helpful. And some have retired, but the new ones they've hired has taken in their places beautifully. And hopefully some of them will remain lifelong friends. And then, of course, I have to thank the most important group, and that's my Women's Club of CYPRESS. I remember when I was sworn in, it was pretty exciting. There hadn't been a woman on City Council in years, so when I got elected, and mind you, I ran because they encouraged me. I'm sure they voted for me. They did fundraisers for me. And then when I was sworn in, there's about 65 women in the council chambers, and they were all dressed in pink for girl power. It was so cool. And then I had a little reception after in the cul-de-sac for me. And thank you very much. And of course, to the community. You guys have made me feel welcome. You elected me twice. What's wrong with you? And you gave me a lot of support. And I'm very proud to have a couple kickoff projects. And again, the community supported me year after year. For 7 years, we put on an annual women's conference. And it has turned out to be such a success. We've had such great speakers and turnout of 300 women and students, and it grew every time. We didn't get to have it this year because of COVID, but I really hope the city continues the women's conference once we get back to normal. I also had a big push and a hand at starting the Veterans Recognition Program, something that's still going on, and I hope it goes on forever, because we as a city need to thank and recognize the veterans who served all those years. And of course, because I'm always so mature, I love that with my pushing Peter Grant, he willingly got us a city Christmas tree, and we started our tree lighting ceremony. And it's very pretty. I don't know if he had a choice. I pretty much almost bought it before I got his okay. But so those are some things I hope live on a little bit after my 8 years. And I certainly would be remiss if I didn't thank my fellow councilmen. We've argued, we've laughed, but I think we all really strove to do what we thought was best for our city, and we hope it turns out to be. So thank you for 8 years. Some 8 years I will never forget. Sometimes I'll be scrunching and sometimes I'll be smiling when I think of it, but wow, what a life experience. So thank you. We're all very lucky to live in this wonderful city of Cypress, and I'm sure I'll continue to see many of you. Thanks.
Good evening, Cypress. Mariellen and myself's time has come to an end with the recent election. We are basically termed out, but yet this week I consider myself the luckiest man in the city we know as Cypress. As I reflect over the past 8 years as your mayor and council member, I have met many wonderful people, residents and businesses alike, who have expressed nothing but kindness and encouragement over the number of years, and especially during this pandemic. I've had the pleasure and the knowledge of working with Peter Grant, our city manager, along with city staff and all of the city departments, while working alongside my commissions and also my fellow council members, my past council members with Doug Bailey, Dr. Prakash Narayan, and Leroy Mills. Thank you. It was a pleasure to serve with you, and I thank you for your mentoring, as well as my current council members, Mariellen Yarc, Paulo Morales, John Peat, and Stacy Berry. It's been a pleasure working with you. But when you sit there and you look at, can you do it all by yourself? No, you can't. And it doesn't take a village, but it takes a family that provides support, understanding, and prayer. Lucky to have a mother and a father who worked to provide a roof over our head for my sisters, Amber and Christy, and myself, to clothes on our back, to food in our mouth. It gave me a strong foundation and the building blocks that have helped me become a good father to my wonderful and successful daughters, Dawn and Liz. You've done an outstanding job. Your mother and I are extremely proud of you. In conclusion, to my wonderful bride of 41 years, Nancy, you've been a tower of strength and shown more love and courage than only one could dream existed. This is the finest I know and love. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, Cypress, for all the good memories. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Congressman Alan Lowenthal, and I'm so pleased to be able to address the Cypress City Council as you install your new council members and say goodbye to your old council members. I'd like to first thank those council members that are leaving the council and for their great work. Mayor Rob Johnson, who I know very well, who I've enjoyed so much working with, and Mayor Pro Tem Mariellen Yarc, who also I have enjoyed working with. I want to thank you for your service. You have served Cypress very, very well. I also want to say a little bit about two new council members. First, I want to say to Council Member Ann Hertz, welcome to the Cypress City Council. I know you're going to do a great job. And finally, I want to say to Frances Marquez, who I know very well. Frances was the person who introduced me, and when I first went, even before I went to Congress, when I went to Washington to understand more about how the Congress worked, Frances volunteered to help me in Washington. She took me every place when I didn't know anybody there. She became my first legislative director. She did a great job, but she was a daughter of Cypress. Her family had been here for a long time, and she left my office because it was time for her to go home and be back in Cypress with her family. So and now she's on the city council. I can't imagine anybody more qualified and more committed to the well-being of Cypress. So to all of you, to the new members, to those leaving, thank you for your service. I'm very excited. I think the future looks great for Cypress.
Yeah. Okay, you can repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Frances Marquez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you. I know our community is counting on us as elected leaders in providing support and delivering solutions. I'm determined to involve more community members from all backgrounds and ages in City Hall governance. Additional voices in our process will lead to more significant equity and opportunity in building a healthier, stronger, and more prosperous Cypress. Serving and providing opportunities to working families, children in our K-12 school system, Cypress College students, seniors, and the disability community will be my focus. I want every child in Cypress to walk to school excited about learning and feeling that they have opportunities and choices. I also want every parent and senior to feel that our city supports them. Thank you.
And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ann Hertz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, Cypress residents. Thank you so much for electing me to be a member of this amazing city council. I am so honored to serve each and every one of you. And I want you to know that I will listen to you and I will represent you to the very best of my ability. I am honored and so excited, and I look forward to getting to know all of you even more as we take this journey together for the next 4 years. Thank you.